You might be surprised that there are some big catches worldwide that you don't know about. Take a look at these catches. These aren't just any animals that were found. Their sizes and weight will amaze you. These are the biggest catches of all time. What the biggest crab? If someone told you they caught a big crab that weighs more than a normal person, you probably wouldn't believe them. That's right. Crabs come in small, medium, and large sizes, but the biggest ones can be up to 10 to 15 pounds wide. Well, you might be surprised to learn that this massive crab, the Japanese spider crab, was caught of its legs are an amazing 3.8 meters long, which is 12 feet 4 inches in, and it weighs a whopping 41.8 lb, which is 19 kilograms. The average human weight is 137 lb, so you can picture how huge this aquatic crustacean is. Snapping turtles. This creature is not only impressive in size, but also fascinating in appearance. The alligator snapping turtle holds the title of the largest freshwater turtle. These turtles can grow to an astonishing length of up to 4.6 feet with their shell height reaching about 2.6 feet. But it's not just their size that's impressive. Their weight is equally noteworthy. On average, they can weigh up to 132 lb. However, some have been found to tip the scales at an even more remarkable weight of 200 to 230 lb. Therefore, formidable appearance resembling that of an alligator is not the only aspect that demands respect. These turtles are also known for their aggressive nature. They can inflict serious injury with a powerful bite, so it's advised to maintain a safe distance if you ever encounter one in the wild. The record for the largest alligator snapping turtle goes to an individual from the Chicago Zoo, which weighed in at a massive 236 lb. Just imagine the sheer size and strength of this aquatic titan. It's clear why the alligator snapping turtle has earned its spot on our list of the biggest catches of all time. Beautiful whale shark. In 2012, an event in Pakistan brought this gentle giant to the public's attention. Interestingly, this shark wasn't caught. It was found dead and washed up on shore. The sheer size of this animal was amazing. It was 40 feet long and weighed over 15 tons, which is more than the weight of 3 large elephants put together. To handle this huge sea creature, local authorities had to use not one but 2 the biggest fish. Like you may know, salmon is a common fish that you can find on sushi menus and in the wild. The size of these fish can vary a lot, usually from 3 pounds to over 100 pounds, depending on the species. The biggest of these fish is the king salmon, which is also called the Chinook salmon. In 1949, a group of fishermen in Petersburg, Alaska, set a net trap expecting to catch a variety of fish. What the blue whale? The next story takes us to South Ali Park Beach in India, where a huge blue whale washed up on the shore. This wasn't just any whale. It was a 42-foot-long blue whale, which is one of the biggest species of whales in the world. When the villagers first saw this majestic animal, it was still alive and breathing, so they worked hard to push it back into the water in the hopes of saving it, but it washed up on the shore again. The great thresher shark. This thresher shark species is different from the others because its tail fin is very long and its eyes are big. Because their eyes are in a groove on their heads, they can fully rotate upwards. This makes the big eye thresher a great hunter because it can swim under its prey and stalk schools of fish before striking. They are mostly found in deep water and are known for being great hunters in low light, often making their moves at dusk. Their caudal fins are wider than those of other thresher sharks. Lolong. Many people are killed by crocodiles every year because they are so dangerous. When it comes to size, the Asin crocodile holds the record. Experts agree that individuals measuring 22 feet, 6.5 meters, are not unusual, making them bigger than even the scary polar bear, but smaller than some whale and shark species. A huge crocodile named Lolong was caught in the Philippines in 2011 and is still alive. It was over 19 feet, 5.7 meters, long from nose to tail, and weighed an amazing 224 pounds. Catching Long was not easy. The crocodile was able to tear apart steel ropes with a tensile strength of 10 tons. It took about 100 people all night of hard work to get this giant out of the water. Sunfish from the ocean. These water giants are known as the heaviest bony fish in the world. They usually weigh between 545 and 2.25 lb. But that's nothing compared to an ocean sunfish that was caught near Sydney in 1908 and set a new record by being 14 feet long and weighing 4,927 pounds. It is now in the Guinness Book of World Records. Another interesting story comes from the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of New Hampshire, where an 18-foot-long ocean sunfish was caught. The weight of this specimen is unknown, but its size alone is enough to spark the imagination. Despite their huge size, ocean sunfish have trouble finding their way in the water, which makes them easy prey for big predators like sharks, killer whales, and sea lions. The largemouth bass is very popular in Florida, where it lives in the dark water of rivers, lakes, and swamps. Big fish like this one can weigh up to 11 pounds, but what makes our number 2 catch stand out is that it changed what we thought was possible with largemouth bass. In 2009, a fisherman made a catch that will go down in history. He got a fish that weighed more than 11 pounds. An extra large bass. Not only was it huge, but it was also very old. This particular bass weighed an amazing 22 pounds, and at 77 years old, it was an absolute veteran of the water. This catch was monumental, especially since the previous record for a largemouth bass of the same weight was set in 1932 near Georgia. The largest black marlin. Black marlins patrol the world's oceans and are majestic fish that anglers dream of. The most amazing of these catches happened in August 1953 off the coast of Cabo Blanco, Peru. Using a mackerel as bait, Alfred Glassell and his team set out on a fishing expedition that would go down in history. When Glassell threw his tycoon rod and 12-vein fin or reel into the water, what he caught was beyond anyone's wildest dreams: black marlin. According to the International Game Fish Association, Glow's catch set the world record for the biggest black marlin ever, weighing 560 pounds and measuring 174 inches long and 81 inches wide. It was also the all-tackle record for the biggest black marlin. It's important to note that marlins over 300 pounds are usually females and males over 500 pounds are very rare, though there have been reports of Lar Glass's catch. Still holds the record for the biggest black marlin caught in sport fishing history. That's all there is to our list of the biggest catches ever, from the depths of the ocean to the wide open spaces of our rivers. Now that you've seen some truly amazing catches, tell us about the biggest catch you've ever heard of, or maybe even caught yourself. Use the comments part below to share your stories. We'd love to read about your big catch adventures. Make sure you subscribe to our channel to see more great videos like this one. Running with mullet. Lucky beachgoers discovered a school of mullet swimming on a routine day spent. When large schools of fish travel to the south, it is called a mullet run. The coast of Florida and then migrate offshore to spawn on beaches, creating an incredibly entertaining spectacle for spectators and a fantastic chance for fishing, even in this location. Some individuals managed they caught more fish than anyone else during the mullet run possible. Two. Beached sharks. If you have a fear of sharks, you might. Let's fast forward a little bit. since it turns out that these giants not only dwell in the depths, but they can, as it approached the coast. The feeding frenzy in North Carolina caused beachgoers to rethink their vacation destination. On a separate occasion, black-tip reef sharks made an exciting entrance onto a Maldives beach when their victim thought it might evade them by getting close to the water. It wasn't the only time sharks startled people. Sure, after viewing that, I'm not sure I'll ever set foot on a beach again. The case. Massive octopus. Of course, I think we'd all respond like, this individual is if we came across such a large squid on our beach, the man would lie down next to it. Squid, in order to gauge its precise size, and failed to contain his.
Are you gonna take a photo? I'm taking a video.
Usual, a nearly 13-ton squid was discovered on Western Cape Beach. Seeing one of these giants on land is a fascinating experience because they usually live in deep waters. Large fish. Deep-sea creatures known as oarfish can be found in depths ranging from 250 to 1,000 meters below the surface, making sightings of them quite unusual. A 15-ton oarish washed up at a beach, shocking beachgoers. Island of Catalina, this unusual battle even perplexed marine specialists. The lack of excitement is due to the fact that orishas usually appear either before or after a seismic event that may indicate this discovery may portend an impending risk. But its majestic appearance is impossible to ignore when contrasted with this marine creature, astounds me even with my human hands. Massive whale. A whale with a white coat has bent up on. Startled everyone who set eyes on it at Estepona, Malaga's Lara Beach. At the location, where the whale had tragically died, albinism is extremely, particularly disturbing given the species' rarity, but there is a shadowy side to this discovery. Before this finding, there were whispers that scientists had discovered plastic fragments in the whale's jaws, implying that the unfortunate. This news made everyone wonder if whales may have suffered as a result of human activities. We can only hope that we can prevent such situations. Environmentalists are upset. 13 throughout the coming years. Coiled. Connected pairs of whales. Discoveries of whales are commonplace, found on beaches. However, one of these discoveries had a unique twist. A peculiar artifact found in Mexico featured a single corpse with two heads, and many were perplexed. At first, they believed the whale to be a legendary marine creature that eventually appeared. But it was actually an instance of conjoined twins of the Siamese variety, which is extremely unusual in the animal kingdom, making this particular whale specimen quite uncommon, very outstanding. Rescuing whales. Certain marine environmentalists strolled past the beach on their way to work one morning and saw a young male humpback stuck there. Despite being partially buried in the ocean, the whale required assistance from humans in order to make a safe return trip. Despite how challenging the job was for the squad, we will need to acquire ropes to support their legs and other parts. They remained optimistic and made every effort to return it to a great deal of water from the sea. Notice how they all pushed it past the watch on their own and assisted the amiable giant in returning to the water. Unknown marine organism measuring 4 meters in length, stranded on an Acapulco beach, Mexico, and everyone there was perplexed, including someone brave enough to reach for a stick poked around the monster on the sand, but no one was able to determine what kind it was. Its eyes led people to believe it was a gigantic whale's fossil. Dark shore. A few individuals were taken by surprise. They were looking down at the water when they noticed a strange-looking being floating there. It lacked a head, a body, and any features. The species in question wasn't actually a mystery at all, despite appearances to the contrary. Perhaps not a living thing per se, but rather an organism, most likely a marine mammal. It was a sea plant, according to some observers, but others thought it was the gills or guts of a bigger fish. Nobody knows who they really are. Fishes for life normally make their way to shore once they've lived out their lives. But an unusual sighting occurred on a Japanese beach when a live squid washed up on the coast. The creature, which was approximately 80 kilograms and measured 3 meters in total length, was then transported to a local aquarium for medical treatment. And then, after it was deemed healthy, it was returned to the ocean. Beast. This cryptic, hairy beast showed up on a Philippine beach, shocking a group of beachgoers. The source of the discovery's mind-boggling nature claimed no one had ever seen something like it before, and that it was hairy all over. Given that over 90% of marine life remains unknown, it's understandable that many people assume this was a brand new species. Wow, take a look at that. It was later speculated that it could be a whale's decaying carcass, and that the hairs were actually pieces of decomposing muscle. Think. Equine mites. Despite their menacing appearance, this family of horseshoe crabs poses no threat in any way, and those expressions belie the lack of unearthly rite taking place. There's no need to worry, because all of these creatures have congregated on the beach to breed. You shouldn't be alarmed if you see a large number of horseshoe crabs while enjoying the beach, as they are harmless and visit the area for the same reasons we do. Numerous fish. Fish in the water is a common occurrence. But to witness swarms of these fish beached on at once is a terrifying sight. When Texans saw thousands of fish just sitting there, doing nothing, they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Their minds raced to the possibility that a gigantic predatory. The increase in water temperature was the cause of this phenomenon, which the fish exhibited, which had rendered the fish's survival imminent, forcing them to breach the surface and seek refuge in the warmer waters of the Gulf. The fish's demise serves as a sobering reminder of how dangerous our world may be. Beach vegetation. Beachgoers in Florida have been treated to an extra sight on their vacations: massive amounts of sargasso seaweed covering vast swaths of the Atlantic Ocean. From time to time, it ends up on Florida beaches, non-bouncing. Mexico, where the captivating image is a result of powerful air currents. Despite its pleasing appearance, this enormous bloom is detectable on satellite imagery and releases a foul stench into the air. This location. Traumatized shark. I know what you're thinking. Sharks are. Even the ocean's top predators face threats from other marine life, according to an Australian fisherman. Assertion that he had never encountered something like during his 15 years of expertise, when he unexplained circumstances led to the discovery of a big white shark that had washed up on a beach. The water could have been to blame, according to some specialists, who speculated that the unfortunate creature had become a victim of whale hunters. Keeps a larger, more terrifying predator about whom we know nothing before we proceed. In order to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. Taking in all of our incredible material. Bones that terrify. Picture this. You're relaxing on the beach when suddenly, isn't it intriguing that these bones could be those of an extraterrestrial being? Couple came upon a true sighting of this kind when walking through the Ilha Compra Brazil sands. They found a humanoid, a palm buried in the sand, even though it appeared to be considerably. They thought it was an alien hand because of how unsettling it was, but we have additional. Watchers have speculated that it might be the flipper of a whale or an orca, among other possibilities. Those seem like human hands and don't have any. Give it a thumbs up. Ocean monster. A number of terrifying kinds. things live in the ocean's depths. I don't mind them per se, but I can't help but feel uneasy thinking about them. An unpleasant recollection for a lot of beachgoers when an anglerfish came up to the shore on a beach in California. Its unusual shape and pitch-black hue were really terrifying experience. Beachgoers were worried since the anglerfish had already died by the time it was seen floating on the water's surface. Perhaps a larger, more terrifying beast had lured the fishermen to the surface, and they couldn't help but wonder what it was. Gigantic stingray tank. Perhaps you've laid eyes on a stingray. These creatures frequently visit beaches in need of food. But a group of friends had an amazing encounter with gigantic stingrays that looked like they had been around for aeons. Immersed themselves in there, these creatures appeared to be exceedingly kind, approaching close to beachgoers as if to say me, tracked through the dirt on the front. Launch of a rocket. Envision taking a trip to the beach on a tranquil day, you stumble upon the news that SpaceX has launched the Falcon Heavy rocket on its inaugural test flight. Yes, this did take place at Playa Linda Beach, and it brought an additional. Beachgoers asserted that they could feel its powerful vibrations from the beach, adding a dash of excitement to the area's tourists. With its massive smoke cloud and successful launch, it provided everyone on what a wonderful day it is to hear. Not forget, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and spread the word about the video. I really appreciate you taking the time to view it. Click the bell button to make sure you don't miss any of the incredible videos heading your way.